Hello everyone, today I will be showing you how to make a working flying vehicle by using gadgets and gizmos in Rec Room. To start, you need your maker pen. Let's go get it. You can get it by opening your watch, going to backpack, and here it is, your maker pen. Press use and it will spawn in front of you. You can also favorite it. Press the favorite button, then a star will pop up and you can grab it from your back. Now that you have your maker pen, let's go look at the top of your maker pen and you see all these tools come up. When you press open palette, another menu comes up. This is what we call the palette. You can find the things that you need for this tutorial under the gadgets tab. Just click gadgets and you can see all these weird chips come up. For now, we will be mostly using gizmos. So press gizmos. We will be using the clamp and the rotator. We will also use the impulse volume. You can find the impulse volume under other gadgets. The first page, it is right here. It's this weird yellow box with an arrow pointing up. Press impulse volume and place it down. Now this impulse volume is a little big, so let's close our palette and go to scale on your maker pen. Let's scale it down by just selecting it, and then there is a little white box in the middle. So grab that and move your maker pen downwards. I think this is a good enough size. Now that we have the materials that we need, let's place them in the right order. The very first thing that you need is going to be the impulse volume. Now that we have it the right size, we need it to be pointing the right way. We want it to be pointing that way. So let's go to rotate on our maker pen, select the impulse volume by just pressing it, and softly press the ring that's pointing upwards for you. It can be the red ring, or it can be the blue ring. Now that we have it point the right way, we actually need 4 of them. So let's go to clone on our maker pen. Clone it 4 times by selecting it and pressing this little arrow, not this one, but this one. This one actually mirrors the object and we don't want that right now. So let's just press and hold this one and move it upwards. This might be high enough. You know what? Let's move this one a little lower. You can see that I'm using these baselines as a reference for the distance between both of the cubes. Now that we have 2 cubes, we actually need 4. But to get them in the right order, we can select both of the cubes by going to select on our watch and selecting both of the cubes and go to clone. Now we have all the arrows again and go press and hold one of the red ones. And again, this can be blue ones depending on where you're standing, but this is okay. I'm copying the impulse volumes and placing them right in the other ones that we've already made. Now, go to rotate on your maker pen and you see that the blue ring is now the one we need. If we would just press it and not hold it, you can see that it's automatically putting it in this plus shape. This is exactly what we want. Now that the impulse volumes are in the right way that we want them, let's go get the rotate gizmo. The rotate gizmo we've already spawned in, but if you haven't spawned it in yet, you can find it in your palette, in gadgets, and in gizmos. There it is. Let's just go get this gizmo and put it right in the middle of all these cubes. This is probably good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now we go to rotate, and I'm going to press the same ring as that I've pressed when I wanted the cubes to point away from me. Now you can see that everything is pointing that way. That's exactly what we want. Now go to wire on our maker pen. When you hover over the gizmo, you can see that when you hover over the tip, a cogwheel shows up. This means that this is actually this actually does something different when you wire it to something than this does. Now we are just going to wire the tip of this gizmo to all the impulse volumes. it should look like this. These brown wires will go to the tip of the gizmo to all these volumes. Be careful not to walk into the volumes because they will launch you away. Now that you have this set up, you actually already have the base of making any flying vehicle. But still, when you release your maker pen and you would put this in the vehicle, nothing really happens because every time you would have to walk into those volumes to make it launch you away. That's why we have the rotator. So now you would see these two pins right here. Grab your maker pen and go to configure on your maker pen, and you will see that 2 zeros will pop up. Those 2 zeros can be modified if you would press them with configure. Go configure the green one for now. On the green one you can actually decide the speed. So if you would configure on the green one, this will pop up on your palette menu. It will say rotation speed and a 0, a minus, a plus and an input. This is actually how fast your rotator would move. Let's just put this to 5 for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just pressing 5 times on the plus icon. You can either do that by pressing the plus icon 5 times, or you could go to input and type in 5 and then pressing OK. Now that we've configured the speed, you can still see that nothing is really happening. That's because the gizmo isn't turned on yet. To turn it on, go to your maker pen and go to configure again. Configure the red 0 for this time, and you can see that it says on or off. In this pin, it would actually say if it's on or off. You see the 0 right here? That means that it's actually off. If you would turn this to 1, it would turn it on. So now, if I would exit my palette and drop my maker pen, you can see that it's starting to rotate. And if I would stand in this, it will still keep me launching each time the volume goes in me. Now, this is not what we want, because it's moving and I can feel that it's not really going fast enough. Trying to edit this is actually possible, but it's harder than editing the pins is now harder since it is rotating. To stop this from happening, go to your maker pen, open your palette, go to settings and press play gizmos. You will get a pop-up that says gizmos are now stopped. You can see that my gizmo is now stopped. My gizmo now points up. That's actually not what we want, so let's point it back where it's supposed to be. This is how we want it. Now we can go to the configure tab again, go to the speed and turn it up a bit. Let's see if 10 is a good amount. To see your gizmo actually working again, go back to your settings and press play gizmos again. Now drop your maker pen and see that it's rotating a little faster. This is still not really what we want. This is actually pretty slow, so let's stop the gizmos again on our palette. Okay, we want it to be spinning really fast to make it actually work. So let's do the rotation speed to 100. Well, we do not want to press this plus icon 100 times, do we now? So let's go press input and actually type in 100 and then press OK. You can see that this input is now changed to 100. Let's go press play gizmos again and see how fast it's going now. This actually looks pretty good. Now we already have the base of our flying machine. But we want actually to have a flying vehicle. So when you make a flying vehicle on your maker pen, you could actually go to, let's say you want a flying broom, just like I showed you in the start of the video. I made it by using tubes, going to settings and pressing uniform shapes to be on, and then I made little adjustments to make an actual broom. I like to make a curl on it so it looks pretty, but now it's going down, so let's rotate it like this. Now I will manipulate this and actually make a vehicle which I can make it fly. You can make anything fly with this machine. You can make planes, you can make flying broomsticks, you can make a helicopter, you can make anything. So you can just grab a plane or the vehicle that you want to fly, and then I'll see you back. So now I made this broomstick that I want to be able to fly. Let's move this broomstick into the volume that we want. Here you go. Now, we would not want to hook up any of this towards the broomstick, because now if I would grab the broomstick to be able to fly away, you can see that it's not really stuck to the flying machine yet. That's why we have the clamp gizmo over here. We've already spawned it in, but if you still haven't, you can go to Open Palette, go to Gadgets, go to Gizmos, and then you can find it right here. Let's just move this towards the broom for now. Let's just move it in front of it, rotate it to be less noticeable. So I like to make the clamp a bit smaller so you don't really see it. You can do that by pressing Scale on your maker pen, selecting this and dragging this cube up and down. Okay, now I would want to hook this up to the broom and to the flying machine. This flying machine just keeps on rotating, which is really irritating. Let's stop that by stopping our gizmos again by pressing Open Palette, going to Settings, and stopping the gizmos. Now we could easily adjust this. Go to Wire on your maker pen, get the body of this of the rotate gizmo, and hook it up to the tip of the clamp gizmo. You would hear a sound which says that it's good, and now if I would move this clamp, the flying machine will move with it. You could test it out if you want, but we don't want it to move with the clamp, we want it to move with the broom. So let's hook up the body of this clamp to the broom itself. Now, when I grab the broom, the flying machine moves with it. Pretty cool, huh? Now all we have to do is go Open Palette and start the gadgets again. This sometimes can be a little buggy. What you gotta do is go to Configure and go to your object that you want to fly. It's pretty handy if you would make it grabbable, since you would have to grab the object to steer it. And also make the physics mode decorational, so you can walk through it, and not when you grab it that your character tries to climbs over it a few times. Now, if I would grab this broom and go sit on it, it would automatically let me fly. Well, I'm not really going really fast right now, so let's actually make this a bit faster. Let's just make the the impulse volumes itself even stronger, so it will launch me even further, so I can go really fast. Let's stop the gizmos again. Go to Configure on the trigger zones and make the speed in millimeters all go to 10 speeds per meters in seconds, and the maximum speed to 20. Now do this to every single one of the impulse volumes, and then you're ready. Now this should already be there. Okay, let's try this right now. Let's go play gizmos again. Grab the broom one more time, and now we're going really fast, as you can see. You can actually steer by aiming your controller where you're holding it with anywhere you would like. We can go up, we can go down, we can go forwards, or even backwards. Now, if you would fly back to the place that we started in, normal people would not be able to see this giant machine on your broom. They will just see a normal broom. If you want to know how other people see your creations without any gizmos, go to your palette menu, go to settings, and press hide gadgets for me. This is how a normal player in your game would see your vehicle. You can just it still works. You can see that I'm now riding the broomstick and flying with the broomstick, but you can't see the whole machine tied up to it. This is how a normal player in your game would see it. I hope you liked this tutorial on how to make flying vehicles in Rec Room. If you would like to see more, just share this video with a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, you can find me on Instagram or Discord, or just type it in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I see you later. Bye bye.